Welcome back to the KEMPIRE Daily YouTube channel, where we talk about everything in pop culture, including music, entertainment, and reality TV. It's been quite a while since we talked about our friends over at 90 Day Fiancé. We are into season 8, and I've heard everything that you guys have been saying, and I agree. This season hasn't been their best, but we have to keep in mind the pandemic with all of the shows that we're talking about. But there are some moments that I want to talk about from the latest episode. This week, we didn't see Brandon and Julia, who's probably the most interesting couple, but we will see them next week, and there is a pregnancy scare. But I think it's 90 Day producers, again, trying to make us think that Julia is pregnant. Let's just quickly talk about Amira and Andrew. First off, I feel for Amira because she went through something horrific in Mexico to the level of that they claimed that she didn't have her passport. However, she did have her passport and they gave it back to her. And she just described, she wouldn't even get into the depths of what she saw and what she experienced while being detained in Mexico City. Andrew doesn't seem to really be interested. He makes it seem like he's interested, but he hasn't really been supportive. He wants to send her to Siberia so they could do this all over again. Mind you, Andrew stayed in Mexico for 2 weeks. And I'm trying to keep an open mind. I said maybe he couldn't get his money back. Maybe he couldn't get his days back at work. Maybe that's what it is. But he was having a good old time. He's contacting her and she's like, oh, he's doing this, he's doing that. First of all, her friends and family do not like him. I don't like him either. There's something very weird about him. And I use the word weird, meaning that there's something off. There's an energy there. There's a underlying, almost allegedly abusive energy there. Even when his mother picks him up from the airport and she was sort of questioning this whole Siberia idea, you could see he was getting a little agitated. And I think the mother wanted to say, you really want her to go through the whole Siberia situation? I have not done my research yet. I would think that the government would delay any sort of visas and things like that during the pandemic. But then again, this is during Trump's administration, so maybe not. But at the same time, I think it might be a blessing in disguise for Amira to get away from that one. So a couple I don't want to talk about, Tarik and Hazel. I'm not going to go into it. This week, they're talking about COVID reaching the Philippines. I am so not interested in this couple and their possible throuple relationship. I know it's the first one that we've seen on 90 Day Fiancé, but they are so uninteresting to me. Tarik to me really just seems like he wants to launch a hip hop career. I'm not interested, and I know you guys aren't either. He's part of the reason why this season sucks. Let's talk about Stephanie and Ryan. As you know, Stephanie is from Michigan and Ryan is from Belize. She's now in Belize and they're quarantining at this hotel, which she's paying for everything. I have a lot of thoughts on this, and I've seen some people's comments that they feel like she's almost fetishizing, if that's pronounced that correctly, this Black man. And I get that feeling, or Black men in general, because remember, she slept with his cousin. But I feel like she's bringing, I understand they're producing a reality show. She's doing cues. She's bringing up certain stories and things like that to spark a conversation for the cameras. However, I just feel like she knows that this relationship isn't working, yet she's still going to push forward with it, even with what her psychic tells her. And Ryan seems so uninterested in what the psychic has to say, which I'm not surprised. West Indian. They don't believe in all that mess. But Stephanie also brings up a particular situation with his mother. Because you remember, we saw the mother in earlier episodes where she was talking with her. She brings up a situation in this latest episode where she lent the mother money and the mother never reached out to her to say thank you. Mind you, Stephanie's supporting this entire family during the pandemic. And she's okay with letting and reminding him that she's doing so, even paying for his salary at this hotel that he's working at, where they're not busy because no one's visiting. But she brings up the fact that she had to call the mother and she threatened to ask for the money back, and the mother didn't like that. I feel like Stephanie is using her money to control Ryan and to control his family, and she has no problem bringing it up. I'm trying to understand what she's getting out of this relationship. Probably because she is sleeping with him and she slept with the cousin, and looks like next week she reaches back out to Harris again, which makes she needs a friend, she says. So you reach out to the cousin that you cheated on your possible soon to be fiance. Mind you, she brought the ring that she wants him to propose to her with. At the end of this last episode, we sort of see something happen. We don't know what happened, but she flips out, and that's when she reaches out to Harris. I'm not sure how to read Stephanie. I'm not sure if Stephanie just wants to be on TV, or I mean, she's a level of interesting and weird, like her delivery, the way she speaks, the way she moves. No, she's a strange older woman from America. Like, she's not normal. And I know there really is no normal, but there's something off about Stephanie. Even the way that she brings up all these other issues that they've had. Ryan's just like, can we move on? Ryan just wants to get to the States. Ryan wants to be able to get to the States, get his citizenship, and make money for his family. And that's why he's dealing with her strangeness. And he's getting a little nookie. Let's talk about Yara and Jovi. This couple, spoiler alert, they do get married. They do make it through the 90 days. You already know that they're pregnant. They've had the child. Mind you, I think the part of the reason why they got engaged originally was because she was pregnant, but she lost the baby. Well, now she's pregnant again. Jovi just seems so annoyed with her most of the time. And look, Yara is not perfect. Yara is high maintenance. Yara has an attitude problem. However, Jovi seems like he hates her. Like, I don't feel this magical connection between them. I think if anything, they had a sexual connection. Now they're trying to make it a relationship. And, you know, they would see each other here and there. And now they're with each other all the time. And he just seems constantly annoyed with her. He doesn't seem like he's in love with her. He didn't believe her when she even said that she was pregnant. Jovi, first off, if you're having unprotected sex with someone, it's very possible they might get pregnant. And honestly, we don't know. Yeah, the condom could have broken, but that wasn't one of the excuses that he gave her when she said that she was pregnant. He could have been like, well, we're always wrapped up. Like, how did you get pregnant? There was no argument in that. So I'm going to assume you're sitting there having unprotected sex and you're shocked that she's pregnant. I just don't understand how these couples bring these innocent children into these situations when he honestly does not like Yara. I just feel like if anything, he's attracted to her, but he's annoyed by her. Does he have an alcohol problem? I don't know if I would say he has an alcohol problem. He does like to drink. It's New Orleans, Louisiana. I think that it's a cultural thing down there. I understand it. With this last fight that they had, I understand why she was annoyed. First of all, she's pregnant. Look, Yara is a lot of different things. However, she is pregnant. And I know that when a pregnant woman wants certain types of food or certain types of things, put aside the cultural differences. She's pregnant. So there's certain things that are just not going to agree with her. Like, she's just not going to like certain things. So you really should be making sure, let me make sure I get her what she wants and not just bring back crawfish. Like, if she was sensitive before, she's going to be even more sensitive right now. And like I said, I'm not a big Yara fan. However, I'm on the Ukrainian side this episode. Wait till we get to Mike and Natalie. I just honestly feel Jovi is so immature. He definitely needs to grow up. And I'm sure now that he has this kid around, he is going to grow up. Will these two look? Jovi's friends and family even question his maturity, if this relationship is going to work, because of Jovi, not because of Yara, because of Jovi. Only the parents are like, is she here for the right reasons? She doesn't even want to be there. She's talking about moving to another part of the world. She doesn't like Louisiana. Let's talk about Rebecca and Zayed just for a moment, because this is another couple that I really just want to fast forward through. But the thing is, I liked Rebecca when we were first introduced to her a couple of seasons ago. But this time, I'm seeing a level of Rebecca, besides all the photos on her credit cards, a photo of them on the sheets. Then she got, the last episode, 2 little dolls that look like them. Rebecca is either 50 or 50 plus. You would never know it because of the way that she acts. She acts so immature. And that immaturity is just taken to another level in this new episode. She gave him tattoos, fake tattoos to put on him, knowing that it's against everything that he believes in, what his family believes in. He even said, and he was all about it. He's like, all right. She said that he likes her tattoos. Doesn't mean he wants it on his body. And yes, they're fake tattoos. And actually, they did look good on him. However, it just seems like you're trying to have a moment. I feel like that's constant with Rebecca. She's constantly trying to have a moment on the show. I don't know if it's because she's just trying to be on the show to make some money or whatever it may be. I don't know. I was just like, oh, this couple is so boring. Fast forwarding to them going out with her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend and a couple of other friends that they have. And there's this young lady, they're a beautiful young lady. And she's offering, she's interested in Zayed. Zayed really is like the guest of honor because he's the only one that they don't know. So to me, it makes sense that she's asking him questions. He's from another part of the world. Tunisia is not a popular country that people talk about or travel to. So I would get it, ask a lot of questions. But Rebecca is so insecure about herself, her age, which is understandable because she is the oldest person at the table. She is not even hiding it. Some people are good about hiding it and being passive aggressive. She's not even good about that. Like her response was just so like, well, she's offering to help you move, throwing a negative energy towards Zayed. And Zayed doesn't even fully understand what everyone is saying, language differences, which I get. No, Rebecca, you just don't believe that you're good enough for Zayed. You feel like you're too old for Zayed. Like you're so insecure and immature. That is what's going to be the downfall of your relationship. It's not going to be because he cheated on you. The big issue will be because you're so insecure that you're creating problems where there are no problems. I spent way too much time on her already. Let's talk about the couple that I really want to talk about. Natalie and Mike. Okay. Natalie and Mike. First of all, I was on Mike's side at the very beginning of the season because I was like, oh, okay, Mike is really trying. Mike is really, and I liked Mike from the previous season. And because I felt like, okay, this is a really nice guy. Yes, he believes in aliens. Okay, don't judge him. Everyone has all these memes about Mike believing in aliens. But I've grown. Natalie's grown on me. Is she perfect? No. Is she controlling? Yes. Is she evil sometimes with the things that she says? Yes. Is she? She's many things. But I have to say, he allowed her to come to the States on this 90-day visa. I'm going to call it a trial, on this 90-day trial, because this is how all these couples are using it. It's not meant to be a trial period, y'all. It's for you it's giving you time to get your plans together to get married. Anyways, Mike is treating this as a trial period because, yes, when his mother visited, they set a wedding date, but he doesn't want to give her the ring. He doesn't want to move forward with making plans for her mother to come for the wedding. Mike, what are you doing? If you're not interested in her, send her home. Why are you wasting your time? Look, I understand Mike was really, really hurt when he left Ukraine because of the things that she said. She wasn't able to say that she was in love with him. She's still not really able to say she's in love with him because that came up during therapy. But when she comes, and she also threw the ring back at him before he left Ukraine. So I felt like he was just broken down from that, understandably. Fast forward, she's here in America. You allowed her to come. She, to me, is making sense. She comes up this last episode and says, we should be we should go to a therapist. And he's like, no. But after he speaks to his barber, which your barber usually is like your therapist. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why doesn't he date the barber? They have a good rapport. And she understands where you come from. She understands that world and that life. It would be a lot easier. Anyways, so the barber convinces him to go to therapy. But I was thinking to myself, Mike, if there are issues that you're having, and I get it, there are a lot of macho guys that don't believe in therapy. Yeah. But you're the one always saying, we need communication and da. If you're not communicating, because a lot of times when she's trying to have a conversation with you, you're just very short with her. And look, there might be things that we're not seeing because it is a reality show, but you do not seem like you're trying to communicate why you're hurt, why you don't want to set a date. Like you're not explaining those things. And therapy is a great place to go and have those conversations. And mind you, they had breakthroughs during this therapy. He's like, okay, this is what I'm feeling. Honestly, spoiler, They make it through 90 days, they do get married. However, like I said, just because you get married doesn't mean you can't get a divorce. I just don't see it for them. If Mike doesn't come to terms with the way that he felt from when he was in Ukraine and make peace with that and forgive her for that, then there's no way they're going to have a healthy marriage. And yes, Natalie does think she's better than him. In a lot of ways, not to say she's better than him, she does seem a little bit more mature in some ways. Look, I get it, y'all. Look, in some ways. In some other ways, you're like, oh, she's just stomping her feet and acting like a baby. I remember when she wanted to go to the falls and then she just shut down completely. Look, I remember in the recent episodes, she's showing a lot more maturity. Do I believe she's in love with Mike? I do, because honestly, I don't think Natalie had a problem living in the Ukraine. Maybe she thought life here in the United States might be a lot better, but I think she's slowly seeing like, oh. But I think a lot of relationships go through these ups and downs, especially when you start living with someone. You start to see this other person in a different light. You see how they live on their own. Sidebar, Mike doesn't have friends, does he? His friend is the barber and his uncle. Like, Mike doesn't have any friends. He lives out in this remote part of Washington and he doesn't have any friends. So I'm a little more concerned for Mike than I am for Natalie. And I think Natalie is trying, and that's the thing, they're very much opposites, but that doesn't mean a relationship can't work. Obviously, he saw something in her that he wanted in his life. Has he changed his mind? Because I've been where Mike is, where like you're in your head and you're like, I'm no longer interested. I feel like Mike is no longer interested in a relationship with Natalie. I feel like he's shut down completely. And that's why I thought it was important for them to go to therapy, to figure it out. Why set a date if you don't want to give her the ring, you don't want to make plans, then what's the point of this? Why are we wasting our time? Don't waste my 90 days. Anyways, let's continue the conversations. I want to hear everything you guys think on all of the couples. And even if you disagree with me, let's continue the conversation in the comment section. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out when I go live or when I upload.